If you've been reading about global education in K-12 schools, you may come across a variety of terms: global competence, global citizenship, global learning, global readiness. And you may be wondering, are these all talking about the same thing, or are there differences? And what should I be focusing on in my classroom? These different terms may have some commonalities, and these commonalities show us the themes across all of the work that's being done. And there may also be some slight differences in the way that people are enacting global learning. So you may find a particular term and the body of work that is part of that term that really resonates with you, and you can focus on that. So I wanted to tell you what the different definitions of these terms are to help you sort through all of the work that's being done. The Asia Society put forth the definition of global competence, and that is that students would have the capacity and disposition to understand and act on issues of global significance. And what they mean by that is that students would have the capacity to investigate the world. So there's an inquiry component where students are curious and open to looking into what's happening in the world, meaning their own local community, but beyond their local community, beyond their immediate environment, to communities across the world, that they would be able to understand and appreciate the perspectives of others and to engage in open and appropriate communication with others. So there would be some intercultural communication skills that students would need. They would be able to be appropriate and respectful no matter whom they are working with. And they would be able to take action for collective well-being as well as sustainable development. So collective means that we're in this together, and that when I help you, that also helps me, and that what I do affects you, and I know that what you do affects me. So that is being aware of the interrelatedness of us all around the world. And then sustainable means that it is able to continue on its own. So when we talk about sustainability, we may be talking about environmental sustainability. If we cut down these trees and we don't plant new trees, then that's not sustainable practice, because eventually all the trees will be gone. So sustainable practice is, for every tree you cut down, you plant at least two new trees. Sustainable can also refer to culture. So if I go into another culture and I install a new computer lab, but the grid that I use isn't compatible with that, the grid in that country, then that's not sustainable. And also, if I say, here, do this kind of teaching, but it doesn't work in that culture, then that's not sustainable. So we use sustainability to talk about the environment, but also we can talk about culturally sustainable practices. Now, there are different terms. So global awareness, the Partnership for 21st Century Skills says that students need to build global awareness. And to them, that means learning from and working collaboratively with individuals representing diverse cultures, religions, and lifestyles in a spirit of mutual respect. So global awareness is learning about different cultures in a respectful way, being able to talk about those cultures and working with people from different religions and lifestyles in a way that involves open dialogue and a sense of community, and understanding other nations and cultures, including other languages. So in their definition of global awareness, that includes being able to communicate in other languages other than English. Participate, which is an organization that does global education, professional development for teachers, they talk about global readiness. And by global readiness, they mean having the knowledge and skills and the 21st century ability to problem solve and communicate and collaborate across the world to address global issues. In my own work, I've also talked about global readiness And I use this word, global readiness, as a way to build upon the C3 framework put together by the National Council for the Social Studies, where they are talking about career readiness, college readiness, and civic readiness. So there's an element of citizenship that is involved. And when I say global ready, I mean the multiliteracies needed in the 21st century to participate, collaborate, and work anywhere with anyone in the world. So to break that down, the multiliteracies means that we are connected through technology in a way that we can collaborate more easily than ever before. So we need to be able to harness the affordances of technology in order to collaborate with people around the world. And so we need the digital literacy. We need multimodal literacy in order to communicate in words and also images. We need the global literacy. So global literacy means being able to use reading, writing, speaking, and listening to learn about the world and to communicate to the world. And multilingualism, so being able to communicate in multiple languages. That is needed to participate, and participate has a democratic connotation. So by participate, I mean being socially responsible and civically engaged, to collaborate on social issues so that we are, as the Asia Society says, working together for the collective good and sustainable development. And work. So also acknowledging that part of our infrastructure and globalization means that we have international jobs, multinational corporations that many of our students may be able to work for. And it's very possible that they will be working for in the future. And so in order to take into consideration all of the different kinds of needs that our students have, so the need to be part of a democratic process, in order to be part of, to have their own agency, in order to choose an economic future that they would enjoy and want to be a part of, then they need to have the skills and the knowledge, the awareness, the abilities, and the dispositions to work anywhere with anyone in the world. So as I said, you'll see that these terms have some things in common, but there's also some nuances. And so there may be words that really strike you. In the social studies, we talk a lot about citizenship. So global citizen may be a word that you want to incorporate in your own teaching and learning. In English, we talk a lot about literacy. So global literacy as a way of helping our students read authors from all over the world and to be able to communicate interculturally may be a word that really resonates with you. Global competence and global readiness can be all encompassing. And so they all have some different ideas and some ways that we can help our students prepare for their futures.